Hello and welcome to Crystal-Clair Divination. Today we are going to continue with the Light Seer's Tarot and Guidebook by Chrisanne. And we're going to pick up with the Hermit card. Right. I tend to forget. Okay. Clear your mental and physical clutter. You will feel so much better. Ugh. And I'm living with someone right now that cannot seem to just, it's like, please. If not for you, then at least for me. Yeah. But you can't change people, and you can't force people to do anything. They have to come to things in their own time. So, drop a little hint here and there. Well, I believe in communicating clearly and honestly, right? So I've done that. But then I back off, right? So try to do it in love and then lead by example. But I'm sorry, but I am not going to clean your entire home that you've not cleaned in 4 or 5 years. I'm not going to do that. So, not going to happen. But I do clean up behind myself, and I spend time alone. Spend time not getting in the way or adding to any mess. And then occasionally I do go ahead and clean up a little bit more, right? Just because I feel like it's petty to avoid it, right? I feel that way. Maybe not. Maybe I'm being hard on myself. Maybe I'm not. The Hermit, Light Seer. Inner reflection. So anyway, this is the thing about this. Clear your mental and physical clutter. You will feel so much better. No, you know what? I'm not going to go into that. That's for another time. Okay? If you know, and I'm sure you do, and you feel up to it, you want to share, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. Share with us the importance of clearing the clutter from your physical spaces and your mind. What is the importance of clearing that out? What is that clutter blocking? What is it inhibiting, right? What is it keeping you from? And what positive changes take place when you get rid of it, right? All right, so the Hermit, Light Seer, inner reflection, meditation, contemplation, soul searching, inner wisdom, spiritual mentor. Okay, so first of all, things already listed, right? This is a little cheat sheet for you for answering the question mentioned earlier, right? Inner reflection, meditation, contemplation, soul searching, inner wisdom, right? These are the things that the clutter is blocking. And so many people can't see that, right? So many people can't see that. And some, when they get to the point of being open to that, you can help them. But until they're open to receiving that message, or until they just come upon the message on their own, right? They're open to receiving that from spirit, right? Wherever it comes from. Until they get it, it's going to be an issue. So, and then I know people who just get completely obsessed with cleaning and organizing. Which, I mean, hey, pick your battles. All right, so soul searching, inner wisdom, spiritual mentor, finding your guide within, right? You can't find your guide within. You can't find your guide within behind all this. You're not going to do it. All right, taking time away from the chaos of a busy life, hermiting. Shadow Seer, withdrawing from society, isolation, loneliness, forever seeking without healing. Ooh. Wait a minute. So the Hermit in the Shadow Seer position, forever seeking without healing. Now, would that be because there's too much clutter to dig through? Right? Possibly. Who knows? Feeling like a misfit. I mean, when I was a kid growing up in the 90s, feeling like a misfit was cool. So, all right. So, it's time to make space for your sacred aloneness and self-care. If you are feeling disconnected from your spiritual north, this time of solitary withdrawal will help you to connect with your own compass. Soul purpose, spiritual awakening, and deep inner wisdom spring from this energy. Sometimes we run the risk of being so introspective that we lose our connection to others, Or worse, we can dive so deeply into our stories of struggle that we inadvertently begin to believe that our wounds will be a part of our forever identity, right? And that's what came to mind the other day. What was it? The card about leaving the baggage behind. Remember, it was one that I'm using as a bookmark. It's like, some people don't really want to leave it behind, right? They do, but they don't. They're not sure. Like, they don't want to deal with the pain anymore, but they still don't want to let go. They can't let go because it's become a part of their identity. They've for so long believed this is who they are and it's who they're going to be, right? And so when you hermit, right, is seeking without healing. Well, you can seek forever, right? But are you really truly open to those answers? Are you really truly letting go of all the things that are blocking you from receiving the messages that contain the answers to how you're going to heal and how you're going to move forward, right? Or the answers to whatever the question is, like, who am I? What is my purpose, right? You've got to get all this stuff out. You've got to clear out the baggage. You got to clear out the clutter. You've got to start forgiving, right? Forgive yourself, forgive others, and just let it go, right? Crap, I hate that movie. All right. Where was I? Part of our forever identity. In the deepest trenches of self-discovery, we must remember that our continual search for our own healing and inner truth does not mean that we are not already whole and healed. And another thing too, the separation part, right? Where is it? Sometimes we run the risk of being so introspective that we lose our connection to others, right? So now I'm going to speak on this for a moment, not because I just love oversharing, but because it's something I've experienced and I wish I had someone to help me with this, right? So maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio, double Scorpio with a Pisces moon. I don't know. Maybe it was my trauma. I don't know. But I have a bad habit, and I'm going to admit this right now because it is something I'm working on, and I'm super ashamed of it, and it has caused me so much pain in addition to other things, right? I tend to cross over from being aware, right, and seeing things and recognizing patterns, right? I cross over from that to being judgy. No joke. I am a judgy bitch. I try not to be. I don't mean it in the sense of like, oh, I hate everybody, right? But I've also been called a misanthrope before. So maybe at times I kind of hate everybody, you know? But at the same time, I love everybody. I just want everyone to calm the fuck down and take a moment to reflect on the things that they're doing to themselves and to each other. I just want people to stop and think about what they do before they do it and ask themselves, why? Why do I feel the need to do this? And is this going to serve anybody other than my own ego? Is this going to help me in the long run, right? And by help me in the long run, right, I don't mean serve in your ego. I mean contribute to your health, contribute to your healing, contribute to your growth. Not only for yourself, but so you can turn around and be a guide for somebody else on their healing journey, right? Because, I'm going to go on and on if I just don't stop. But, so I feel like that is a really thin line. It's easy to accidentally cross, and it's real easy to get really far over on the other side of that line before you realize you're doing it, right? Or at least it was for me. And unfortunately, I didn't have anyone there to go, whoa, how about you calm down for a second and think about what you're doing and what you're saying. And it was something I had to come to in my own time, in my own way, you know. In retrospect, maybe there was someone there who said something to me. Maybe they didn't say it in love, right? Maybe they were hateful about it and I just took offense and I thought they were just being ugly. But I love where she points that out here. I think pointing that out is super important because, yes, those of us who seek, right? Those of us who are seeking healing, those of us who are seeking wisdom, right? Those of us who want to be a light to help guide others, we do spend a lot of time in introspection. And when we start seeing things for what it really is, how do I say this? Pushing aside that judgment, keeping that judgment under control can be really difficult. And it was one of the things that really pissed me off in my 20s, I had a counselor say to me, right, because I've told you before, I, in the past, attempted suicide more than once. And in my 20s, when I was past all of that stuff, I had a therapist say to me, and these were his exact words, "The problem with you people is that by the time you realize you're not the problem, you're dangerous." And I remember just sitting there going, first of all, you people, and dangerous. How am I a danger to anybody else, right? Thought I would never hurt anybody else. I wouldn't do something like that. But then over time I learned it's not just that, right? Because, truth was I did have anger issues, right? And so there was that possibility of being a physical threat. But at the same time, your words, the things you choose to say to people, or even the things you say to people when you didn't make that conscious choice, simply because you let your tongue slip, right? You let your emotions get the best of you. That can be a threat as well. You can really hurt people that way. And so this is important. Sorry. Rants. So this is really important. So sometimes we run the risk of being so introspective that we lose our connection to others. You don't want to do that. It's okay to spend time alone and to think about things and to find wisdom and to find healing and growth. But don't isolate, right? Don't stew. Don't just sit in it and stew. You're not going to find your healing, and you're going to be disconnected from people, and you're going to forget. You're going to forget to walk in compassion and empathy, right? Because you're not healing. Instead, you're stewing, and you're going to end up carrying that stuff around with you, right? So, okay, I'm sorry. That was way too much. Okay. All right, so where were we? In the deepest trenches of self-discovery, we must remember that our continual search for our own healing and inner truth does not mean that we are not already whole and healed. Emerge from your inner retreat with beautiful insights from Spirit and allow yourself to navigate the path with your brightly illuminated heart. Okay? And the affirmation, inner sage, inner mentor, inner guide, show me my brightest light so that I may see with all my heart. Again, absolutely beautiful. Inner sage, inner mentor, inner guide, show me my brightest light so that I may see with all of my heart. All right. I'm sorry. When I realize that I always know when I'm ranting, but when it gets bad, I just have to cut it off. All right, just cut it off. It's like, don't try to turn it down. Don't try to slow it down. Just, done. Just stop. The will is next. So, all right. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your likes and your subscriptions. Thank you for sharing. If you have a comment you would like to leave or a question you'd like to ask, please feel free to do so in the comments section below. Or if you'd like to send me an email, you can reach me at crystalclairdivination@gmail.com. And as always, as always, until we meet again and beyond, please have a blessed and beautiful day.